morning. Welcome to the other 167. I'm Victor from Hyderabad. Today we talk about what is an image. In Genesis, first chapter, verse 26, God said, "Let us make man in our own image, of our own likeness." An image is a picture in your mind. Someone or something is. There are two types of images. One is a still image, we call it photograph. The other is a moving image, we call it video. Your photograph is an image of yours. When you want to go abroad, your passport is a must. Why? Because it has your photo and it is your image that the immigration official wants to confirm. If you want a child to know what is an apple, you show the child a picture of an apple. You identify the police, the pilot, the doctor and the nurse by their uniform. Uniform is what changes their image. Not all images are because of the dress or the uniform. There are images when you take a role. There are images when you take a role. For example, if you are asked by your pastor on a Sunday to welcome the worshippers as they walk inside the church, what would you do? You stand at the main entrance. What image you will take? You will take up the image the pastor wants you to act. So what you do? You put on a big smile, greet everyone, shake their hands if it is necessary, and welcome them. Even though you may be a shy or a reserved person, or even though you don't know most of them, still you take the image of a friendly fellow worshipper. So in short, you keep up the image the pastor wanted. The Bible says that we are created in the image of God. God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. What does created in the image of God means? It means God created human beings as a unique piece of creation designed to be set apart from the rest of the animal world. Mankind was given the privilege, the greatest privilege of all, to be a special expression of God's own divine nature. What does the phrase God created man in his own image mean? The Bible does not give us a direct answer as to what it means when it says God created a man in his own image. However, we are given signs of what it meant by created in the image of God. So what does that mean? Does it mean we look like God? Well, no. John 4:24 says, tell us that God does not have a body. Tells us that God does not have a body because God is spirit. So when we say in the image of God, it does not mean we look like God. To be made in the image of God means humanity is connected to God by having a personal, moral, spiritual, and knowledgeable sense of being, just like God. For example, we are giving knowledge, skills far superior that to any animal. We are given a mind capable of hearing and understanding God. We are given emotions capable of responding to God with love and devotion. We are given a free will which enables us to choose whether or not to obey God. To be made in the image of God means we are to be the visible reflections of the invisible God. When we put God in his rightful place as king over our lives, we can then be restored to the perfect reflections of God that we are always created to be. In fact, it is our purpose on earth to glorify God by bearing the image of Christ. We are made in the image of Christ, in the image of God. Now through the life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, we have an example to follow of how to bear that image properly. We bear God's image by becoming more Christ-like through implementing the teachings of Jesus into our lives. As we learn to do this more and more, we are transformed back into God's original design of men and women who perfectly reflect the glorious image of God. Thank you. God bless you.